You have probably envied the calm one. What you may not know, what almost no one writing about Stoicism today will tell you, is that the calm you envied has a price, and the people who carry it are paying it every day in a currency nobody talks about. Today, most people think a Stoic mind means being cold. It means suppressing emotion, pretending nothing hurts, being the unbothered one in the meeting. The internet is full of this version: hustle accounts, discipline accounts, men in suits posting screenshots of Marcus Aurelius next to pictures of sports cars. But that is not what Marcus Aurelius practiced. That is not what Seneca wrote about. And it is not what makes the calm person in your life calm. The original idea was harder, and it asked something of you that the internet version does not. Imagine a mirror, not a perfect mirror, a mirror with a crack running across it. When you look into it, you see yourself, but you also see the crack. The crack does not stop the mirror from working. If anything, it tells you the mirror has been used, that it has been carried, that it has caught something heavy and survived. The Stoics did not promise their students an unbroken mirror. They promised something stranger. They promised a mirror that could be cracked, often, and still hold its shape. That is the calm you envied. Not glass that refuses to break. Glass that has already broken and chosen to keep reflecting. Here is the first price. The calm person feels everything. They do not feel less than you. They often feel more. The Stoics had a word for what the calmest person does with strong feeling. They called it the premeditation, premeditatio malorum, the rehearsal of what could go wrong. Every night, Seneca wrote, before he slept, he asked himself what he would lose tomorrow: his health, his friend, his wealth, his own life. Not as a performance, not as a worry spiral, as a rehearsal, so the feeling would arrive in the dark, in private, instead of in public, in the middle of a meeting where it would cost him. The calm you envy is not the absence of fear. It is the fear already met, already grieved. The person who looks calm in the room with bad news has already cried in private about the bad news that has not happened yet. This is why the calm person is the one who can deliver hard news without breaking. The terminal diagnosis, the layoff conversation, the funeral oration. They are not unmoved. They have already done the moving, in private, the night before, 3 nights before, a week before. The room sees stillness. What the room is actually seeing is a feeling that has been worn smooth by repetition. A wave that has already broken against the same shore, in the dark, where no one was watching. The calm is not absence. The calm is residue. That is the first price. You have to be willing to feel the loss before the loss. Here is the second price. The calm person wants less than you. This is harder to admit than the first one. We live in a culture that tells us wanting more is a virtue, that the person who wants the bigger life, the better job, the cleaner kitchen, the more impressive partner, is the person who is going to win. Epictetus, who was born a slave, said something the Instagram philosophers tend to skip. He said, "Desire suspended is desire ungranted." The thing you reach for is the thing you have already lost the moment you reach. The calm person has done the math. They have noticed that the things they wanted most, when they got them, did not deliver. They have noticed that the people in their life who never seem satisfied are not in fact ever satisfied. So the calm person has stopped wanting so loudly, not because they are dead inside, because they are paying attention. You can see this in the kitchen of someone who has not yet paid this price. 3 good coffee makers, none of them quite right. A pantry of supplements they will probably not finish. A wish list longer than the things they own. The calm person's kitchen looks different. Not minimalist for the photograph, just finished. They have stopped negotiating with the room. They have stopped negotiating with the version of themselves who would be happy if only the room were bigger, or cleaner, or somewhere else entirely. That is the second price. You have to be willing to want less out loud than the culture tells you to want. Here is the third price. The calm person is misread, constantly. People will call them cold. People will call them detached. People will assume the calm person does not care, because if the calm person cared, surely they would be visibly upset, like everyone else in the room. Marcus Aurelius, who was the emperor of Rome and arguably the most powerful man alive in his time, kept a journal in private. We have that journal. It is called Meditations. The first thing you notice when you read it is that Marcus does not sound calm. He sounds tired. He sounds like he is talking himself into being patient with his court every morning before he goes out. The man we now imagine as the picture of Stoic strength was, in his private writing, a man arguing with himself to keep going. That is what the calm person is doing. They look composed because the argument is happening on the inside where you can't see it. This is the price most people refuse to pay. We are social animals. We are wired to perform legibly. The calm person, by being illegible, by not showing the panic the situation seems to demand, is breaking a quiet social contract. Their partner says, "You don't seem upset." Their colleague says, "You're being cold." Their parent says, "You've become distant." None of these are accurate. They are descriptions of a surface that has decided not to advertise its weather. The cost is that the people closest to you may never quite know how much you felt on the day it happened because you spent that feeling in the dark. That is the third price. You have to be willing to be misread by everyone who only sees the surface. So what does this mean for you? It does not mean you have to become Marcus Aurelius. You don't have time. He had an empire and a hostile court and a war. You have an inbox and rent. The scale is different, but the practice is the same. You can borrow a piece of it. Tomorrow morning, before you check your phone. 3 minutes. That is all it takes. 1 minute of noticing. What is the first feeling in your body when you wake up? Don't fix it. Don't analyze it. Just notice it. Anxiety, dread, tightness in the jaw. The Stoic does not begin the day by performing calm. They begin by acknowledging what is actually here. 1 minute of premeditation. Name one thing that could go wrong today. Not the worst case, a medium-sized loss. Then ask yourself, if this happened, would I survive it? Almost always, the answer is yes. The grief is real, but survivable. This is premeditatio malorum at the scale of a Tuesday. 1 minute of release. Name one thing today that is not yours to control. Someone else's mood, the weather, a response you are waiting for. Say the words, "Not mine." Let your hand close on nothing and open again. The calm person you envied is not what you thought. They are not unbreakable. They are not unfeeling. They are not luckier than you. They are someone who has decided every morning to look at the crack in the mirror and keep using the mirror anyway. That is what Stoicism actually costs. It is not the price the internet sells you. It is harder than that and quieter. You have to be willing to feel the loss before the loss. You have to want less out loud than the culture tells you. And you have to be willing to be misread by anyone who only sees the surface. The empire Marcus Aurelius ruled is gone. The empire your own attention rules is still here. Whatever is in your control today, your noticing, your premeditation, your release, that is the only empire that is actually yours. Look at the crack, then keep using the mirror.